this is the face that we finished last time, and now we're going to prepare it for painting on the greenware. I have here some soft cleaning, and I'm going to use it to take off all the rough edges. The softer the better. Very gently, because it's very, very fragile at the moment. It's best to do it with a mask so you don't breathe all the dust. The other thing I'm going to use is a dental utensil to take out from the areas where you can't reach otherwise. Clean away. You know, how smooth it is depends on your style. It doesn't have to be completely smooth. Is there. And when it's fired, the little gritty pieces that you didn't notice actually show more. So once you get the hang of it, you'll see exactly how much and what's important to get rid of. What's intentional and what isn't. Right, I'll get a brush now to get rid of the pieces. And that's the first stage. The first thing I'm going to deal with is the eyes. If you look at the eyes, you'll see there isn't very much space for working. But I'm going to layer it to give it a more natural look. And the first layer I'm going to put on is white. I like to work from dishes so that I don't dip my brushes back into the underglaze. These are all commercial underglazes that you can see that I've prepared here. Various colors. And I'm going to take a small amount and pour it into my little dish. Then, using the finest of my brushes, or some of the finest of my brushes, I'm going to paint the inside of the eye with white. All over the iris, everything. The pencil, I'm going to outline the round of the iris so that I'll know what my outline is. It's a regular pencil, so it won't show in the firing. Be sure not to have the eyes too different so that it doesn't look squint. There we are. Now, where it's marked, I'm going to use, my first layer is going to be gray. I'm going to fill in with gray. Now you can see where the eyes are looking because you have something of an iris showing you where. It's a good time to make sure it's looking in the direction you want. It doesn't have to be face on. And be sure not to leave a white space underneath the iris. Next thing I'm going to do is outline the eyelashes. In some cases I may really put on makeup like an eyeliner, in some cases just the edge. I do this before I finish with the painting of the iris so that I don't have to clean it off once I have the right color. This way, if the black smudges, I can scrape it off, and I'll show you how. The consistency of ink, I come in to outline the edges very gently, very delicately. You can always add more later. There you have an outline. Okay, this one's thicker because the consistency changed. I'll finish it off and then we'll decide if we're adding more to the first one or scraping off some of this. I actually like it thicker, so I'm going to add a little more here. Now the thing is, it's greenware, so if you have too much anywhere, you take that little dental thing and clean away what you don't want. Gently, so as not to leave too much of a line, and this way you can have exactly what you want. If you look now, you'll see that I've actually gone inside under the line to make sure there isn't a white space between the eyeliner and the eye, because once it's fired it doesn't look right. So here along this inner level, this beveled edge under the eyelash, under the eyelashes, under the eyelid, I fill in a deeper line. Now you can decide if you want to leave grey eyes or give it some other color. And I start with layering the colors. I'll start off this time with an avocado green, a very light layer, a very fine layer. And I won't put it on smoothly, I'll just stroke it in. So leaving the grey to show through maybe some of the time. It doesn't have to have any particular shape, but it does work if you use a radial line going from the center outwards. So now we have a little bit of green, and we'll wait for it to dry, and then we'll add the next layer. The next layer I'm going to do is blue. Now the colors are very different after firing. I'm streaking on the blue now, and if I touch the black, where I've touched the black, I'll cover it again later or clean it off. So that's the blue. And now I'm going to take some turquoise. It's kind of a turquoise green, and I'm going to paint over that, and I don't mind if it mingles a little. So now I have eye color that I'm not really sure of, just like real eyes. I may want to make it a little bit grayer and add a touch of gray on top, but for now we need to darken the center of the pupil. And now it's really crucial that it be centered, so I'm going to do it facing. And one of the things that really livens an eye up is if you put white light spots. So I'm going to take a little bit of white and put a dot in the same direction on both eyes. Gives it a sort of lively look once it's fired. Now I have to touch up the black where I dirtied it, so I'll just carefully fill in the black spot there. Clean off this bit. And for the moment, that's what I'm doing with the eyes. The turquoise where I had the pencil before, just to darken and separate. So the whites of the eyes have remained white, and the eyes are kind of a multicolor, light colored eyes. For now, those are the eyes. I'm going to color the hair fairly evenly, but not altogether too smooth. I may use 2 layers of different colors. This is a butterscotch brown, and the reason I'm doing it directly from the pot this time is because there isn't much left, and I may as well just use it. But it will have bits of clay in it afterwards, which thickens and dries it, so take that into account if you're directly working from the pot. It gives it a kind of frame. So we'll go over it with a small brush facing the front. Over here you need to have more definition, so I'll use a finer brush to get in here. Always clean off the greenware, so if you get it onto the face, not to worry, just be sure to scrape it off. That's why I always paint before firing, if I want fine detail. You can get some slightly different colors by double layering some of it. If you want to have more movement, you would use another color brown. Other decisions is what to do about the eyebrows, because if you paint it in lines, it looks a bit unnatural, and if you do a whole piece, it looks bad. So I kind of try and paint lines, but not very fine ones. I just don't do a smooth on. You may want to define the shape of the eyebrows before you start the painting. Even if they aren't exactly equal, you'll see it and you can change it. When you're doing black, it's a lot harder, and you'll want to practice a little bit before going to the black. Mouth, you can decide if you want lipstick lips, really red. I'm going for a more natural look. I've combined an ivory color with some rose. I may scrape off some if it looks too defined by scratching off some of the color. It looks more natural. Later you'll decide how much of it you want to glaze and how much of it you want to leave matte. Very different looks. The top lip isn't such a problem. The bottom lip is a bit harder to decide where the lip actually is. But please remember that however thick the center of the lip is, it goes to nothing towards the corners. Now this was a smile, so I may have come down too far here, in which case I'll just scrape it off like this. And there you have the mouth. This is how the face now looks, with the hair, and the face is going to be white. You may want to take a sponge and give it some highlighted pinks on the cheeks or something like that, or you may want to decorate it with a drawing. But for today, I'm just going to leave a natural looking face. Thank you for watching.